Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings be upon to everyone, especially to all of our students of the 4 departments of the center. Join us now in our very first online orientation program of the MSU King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. This is Professor Muhammad Jihan Makarambon, and I am honored and privileged to be your Master of Ceremony. To begin our online orientation program, let us invoke the divine presence of the Almighty through invocation, to be led by one of the faculty members of the King Faisal Center, Sharia lawyer, Professor Jawad Z. Salik, and to be followed by our Philippine National Anthem.
وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين آمين يا ربنا العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ya Allah, we ask for your help as we begin this new semester. Ya Allah, open our eyes to the new challenges and exciting opportunities that this new semester brings. Ya Allah, open our heart and mind to new friends and new professors. Help us to be attentive to our professors. Ya Allah, help us to forgive others as we receive your forgiveness. Help us to learn and to work together. Help us to listen when we should and to know the best words when we speak and when it is better not to speak. Ya Allah, help us to be patient with ourselves and with others. Bless our university and keep us safe. Ya Allah, be with us as we travel each day. Ya Allah, bless all those who care for us in school and at home. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تحزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم آمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Allahumma ameen. May Allah accept for us our prayers. Thank you, Professor Jawad, for the invocation.
Kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, helas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo.
And now, to give us the opening and welcome address, I give to you the ever-active and father figure of the center, and is known for being the favorite to many, Sharia lawyer, Professor Dr. Abdul Qadir Ayo, the Dean of the King Faisal Center for Islamic Arabic Nation Studies.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Our Assistant Dean, Dr. Munara Marugom, the College Secretary, Professor Zahia Haji Saleh, the Chairperson of the Graduate Program, Professor Widad Minodar, Chairman of the Islamic Studies Department, Professor Jashim Abdurrahman, Chairperson of the International Relations Department, Professor Mustafa Dibaro, the Chairperson of the Teaching Arabic Department, Professor Amina Macabero, the Coordinator of the Research, Dr. Sura Sarif, Coordinator of the Extension Program, Dr. Abdullah Disomimba, and of course the Administrator of the Masjid Malik Faisal, Professor Ansari Bato, and the active members, the faculty members of the center, our hardworking staff of the center, our beloved students, and of course our most sought bachelor in town, the MC of this virtual orientation, Professor Jihan Makarambon, a soon-to-be a doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon. I do hope that as you see me talking right now, though you cannot see me personally, still I am visible in your cell phones and laptops. Every year, a college holds an orientation for the sake that the students get familiar with their college faculty, staff, and things needed to distinguish about the college. I know that this afternoon's orientation is indeed new to us, especially to you, our students, because we are accustomed to face-to-face way of orientation. But due to this COVID-19 pandemic, this truly changes our ways of existence in just a short time, emphasizing on precautionary measures for this health-risking phenomenon we are experiencing. This is one of the main reasons why we are having this virtual orientation. As your present Dean, I am wholeheartedly contented for you. Our students did not give up on your education, and despite of this new normal style of learning, you continue to pursue your dream for your better tomorrow. I know how you are struggling in your internet connections. You call it in your generation's language, the struggle is real. Nevertheless, you still bear with the current circumstance of modular classes and find ways to survive it until the end of this semester. Thus, our dear audience, I will not prolong my discourse because my part is just an opening remarks, but the key is in my pocket to unlock this event. And this is how important my task. For that, ladies and gentlemen, students, faculty, and staff of the center, I pronounce of this virtual college orientation be open. Thank you so much and enjoy watching and listening.
Thank you, Sir Dean, for such a warm and welcoming remarks. At this juncture, and as we now face the challenge of the new normal, The King Faisal Center offers different alternative learning options. To help us understand these learning options, I give to you one of the competitive faculty member of the center, Sharia lawyer and Juris Doctor, Professor Jashim Abdul Rahman, the chairperson of the Islamic Studies Department.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. My task here is to give information on flexible learning options of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. This is based on guidelines for the flexible learning options FLOs of the Mindanao State University main campus, and in accordance with the guidelines of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, IATF, and advisories from the Commission on Higher Education. The administration of the MSU main campus shall ensure that the university continues to provide quality education in all levels without compromising the health, safety, and preventive measures against the spread of COVID-19, so that the health and well-being of students, faculty, administrative personnel, and other constituents of the university are protected. Further, the administration of MSU main campus shall guarantee that amidst this pandemic, the university continues to achieve quality assurance in the delivery of knowledge and skills development, and shall continue to enhance the educational quality through effective and efficient mechanism, processes, and tools in carrying out the different academic programs as well as other functions of the university. Pursuant to Republic Act Number 11469, otherwise known as Bayanihan Tuhil as One Act, wherein the government, in an effort to prevent the spread of COVID-19, directed everyone in this country, among others, to adhere strict observance of the preventive measures and health protocols, which includes but not limited to physical distancing, avoiding large gatherings, and wearing of face mask and face shield. The MSU main campus shall adopt the blended learning approach in conducting all academic activities. So we are forced to adopt distance learning, a learning modality in which students and faculty are geographically remote from each other. So, the blended learning is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning. When we say synchronous, it refers to online learning, the real-time delivery of lectures with live interaction between students and teachers. And asynchronous is offline learning, the delivery of classes using pre-recorded videos like this of the faculty and other recommended learning videos available online, for example, in our YouTube, Facebook, and others. After evaluating our student in King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies, unfortunately, most students have limited or without internet access, though they own a computer or electronic gadgets. Thus, we conclude to adopt fully asynchronous learning or offline learning during the lectures, but with limited synchronous during assessment. So the Google Classroom shall be the primary or default learning management system, LMS, of the university. Nevertheless, faculty members may opt to employ other LMS at their own costs and convenience, provided it is communicated to the college for coordination and monitoring. That is the reason the dean and chairperson are monitoring faculty if they are having a class. The lectures shall be given using but not limited to pre-recorded lecture videos, course book, PowerPoint presentation, learning modules, or workbook. If the student is residing within MSU main campus, the student shall use the Wi-Fi hotspot to be provided by the university for accessing emails and lectures. The faculty shall use text messages and social media like FB, Twitter to connect with students for instruction, assignment, and other activities, and for course instruction, homeworks, assessment, and evaluation, whether outcome-based or output-based, shall be done through emails or in our Google Classroom. Evaluation or assessment of students' performance shall be either output-based or outcome-based or a combination of both. Comprehensive final examination for graduate students shall be given through face-to-face, but it should be subject to existing IATF regulation. The faculty shall conduct online class at least once a week per subject. At the option of the faculty, the weekly time allocation of the subject could either be devoted for lecture in other or in one virtual meeting, that is 3 hours synchronous online class for 3 units, or divided into 2. Half of the time will be allocated for lectures and the other half for guided student activities, assignment, and project. So that is 1.5 hours for lecture and 1.0 hours for guided learning activities. So the faculty should at least prepare teaching material, course book, and learning module. For each course, there shall be only one course book or learning module to be prepared by the faculty members handling the course. So it implies that if there are 2 faculties who are handling one course, lessons or module must have the same contents. So they should combine, and they are the one who will prepare the course outline or the teaching material for that particular subject, whether for synchronous or asynchronous modalities. In evaluation or assessment, the evaluation or assessment of students' knowledge or performance shall be done in 2 ways: outcome-based or output-based, or combination of both at the option of the faculty. In your outcome-based, the main goal of this approach is to measure the level of students' knowledge or understanding through evaluation of their ability to translate the presented ideas during the lecture into outcomes or impacts, such as generation of knowledge product. In your output base, in the evaluation and assessment of the students' performance, there may be instances in which outcome-based approach is not doable, given the nature and scope of the course. So in an online examination, it is susceptible to cheating. For example, there might be proxy or surrogate examinee. Hence, oral or written examinations or combination of both shall be employed only if it can be assured that safety valve for cheating is in place. So at the end of semester or before the final examination, there must be a teaching efficiency rating, or that is the TER, that we are allowed to rate our faculty. So the OVCA shall come up with a new format of TER evaluation in which the criteria are relevant to the flexible learning options in consideration of the outcome-based education. At the end of the semester, The college shall administer an online PER evaluation to the faculty, which shall be done by students through a dedicated wavelength created by the ICTC. So that is the flexible learning of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Professor Jashim A. Abdul Rahman, the current IS Department Chairperson. In behalf of our Dean, the faculty, and staff of this center, we welcome you all. Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you, sir, for those informative remarks on flexible learning. And now, to give us the salient features of the King Faisal Center, I give to you the ever-active Professor Zahia Haji Salih, the Secretary and Faculty Member of the Graduate School Department of the Center.
It is with great enthusiasm to present to you the salient features of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. Let us know how KFCIAAS began. It was established in 1971 as an ancillary unit of liberal arts, known College of Social Sciences and Humanities, with the name Institute of Asian and Islamic Studies. It was originally headed by a director. It was the first government institution in the country. This year of 1973, the title or position of its head was changed from director to dean of the institute. In March 1974, the institute was renamed King Faisal Institute of Islamic Arabic Studies in recognition of the deep concern of His Majesty, the late King Faisal ibn Abdul Aziz of the Royal Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. On June 3, 1976, the institute, as an autonomous campus of the university, was elevated into a center pursuant to a BOR Resolution number 1063 and thus renamed the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. So the title of its head was changed from Dean to Chancellor. This status remained for a period of 12 years until the early part of 1988, when the BOR finally resolved to restore the center to its former status of a college, while retaining its present name. The change, as explained by its proponent, was due to the need to eliminate inconsistency created by allegation of status of the Mindanao State University main campus in Marawi City to an autonomous campus of the university, which, like other campuses, should also headed by a chancellor. So to avoid having two chancellors within the MSU Marawi campus, the title of the head of the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies should be changed from chancellor to dean. Hence, the center had to be relegated into status of a mere college, although its name remains the same. In short, the center was originally headed by a director, then a dean, then a chancellor, and now again by a dean. For the KFCIAAS vision, it is not only seeking to propagate the idea of balanced development of man through integrated knowledge, but also aspires to serve as the soul and conscience of the Mindanao State University. For its mission, KFCIAAS is premised on the philosophy of the total development of man, the molding of an insano al-kamil, or a homo islamicus, Muslim men. These are men and women who are completely submissive to the will and laws of their Creator and are able to balance their material progress with their spiritual and moral standard. Men who are imbued with the necessary Islamic qualities and virtues, and are scientifically and technically competent. The center has also its goals and objectives. Specifically, the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies seeks to achieve the following goals and objectives. Firstly, to emphasize Islam not only as part of the Filipino culture but as a religion and a complete way of life. To make the Muslim good Muslims, and for the matter, as a good citizens of the Republic and productive partners in nation building. Secondly, to serve as a catalyst for national integration and mutual understanding between the Muslims and non-Muslims. Lastly, to cater the need of growing interest and consciousness in Southeast Asia and Middle East as a means of fostering economic, political, and cultural relations between the Philippines and other countries of these regions. The center has the following courses: Bachelor of Science in Teaching Arabic, Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies major in Sharia, Bachelor of Science in International Relations, and Master of Arts in Islamic Studies major in Muslim Law. Now, to give you a glimpse of the center, allow me to show you some pictures you can see in the said King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. What you're seeing is the KFCIAAS Annex building. What you're seeing is the KFCIAAS Dawah Hall. It can be used for seminar, conference, meeting, classes, and other important events. If you will enter the KFCIAAS Pahang building, you will see the office of the Assistant Dean, and also you can see the KFCIAAS library units. I hope you'll get familiar with the pictures that I have presented to you. Now, let's have the salient features on students' years in King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. Every year, the center has its celebration of Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. The students, faculty, and staff are gathered for these two important celebrations. We also have college athletes, where students can showcase their love for sports. To highlight your skills in leadership, we also have KFCIAAS student organizations. We have Islamic Studies Students Association, Junior Diplomats Club, King Faisal Center Students Association, Teaching Arabic Students Association, and Master of Arts in Islamic Studies Students Association. This picture was captured during the induction day of the newly elected officers in Islamic Studies Students Association. If you are a student who wishes to become an officer, then you can join the Teaching Arabic Students Association of the Arabic Department. The picture you're seeing represents the officers in King Faisal Center Students Organization. Thank you for watching. We hope that your stay in this center becomes memorable, productive, and worthwhile. We'll see you the soonest, inshallah.
Thank you, Professor Zahia, for giving us a tour of the center. And comes now the most awaited part of the orientation, and that is to introduce to you the faculty members and staff of the different departments. Each department will be introduced by their representatives.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. إن قسم تعليم اللغة العربية يتطلع إلى أن يكون مركزا تدريبيا لإعداد معلمي اللغة العربية والقيم الإسلامية والمثقفين القائمين على تأييد نشر السلام والتنمية، ليس فقط بداخل إقليم الحكم الذاتي لبنغسامورو ولكن في جميع أنحاء مناطق البلاد. اسمحوا لي أن أقدم لكم أعضاء هيئة التدريس لقسم تعليم اللغة العربية، الأساتذة الكرام ذوي الكفاءة العالية والخبرة التنافسية عالميا، الذين ينتجون خريجين مزودين بالتقوى والإيمان ومثقفين متعددي الكفاءات ومعلمين محترفين. The Teaching Arabic Department envisions to be the training center for Arabic language and Islamic values, alive teachers and educators who serve as advocates of peace and development, not only in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, but across the regions of the country. Let me introduce to you the dynamic and globally competitive faculty members of Department of Teaching Arabic, who are producers of God-fearing graduates, multi-literate educators, and professional teachers. Let's begin with our beloved chairperson of the department, Professor Alima Amina Macabero. She is a consistent scholar of Mindanao State University when she was a teaching Arabic student. She graduated Bachelor of Science in Arabic Language in Al-Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt. She also earned her certificates in Arabic Linguistics at Darul Ulum, Cairo University, and Islamic Studies in Higher Institute of Islamic Study in Al-Giza, Egypt. She also finished her Masters of Arts in Arabic Language, major in Morphology and Syntax at Al-Azhar University, Egypt, and recently completed her academic requirements for her degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Arabic Language. Next is our inspiring and energetic professor of the department, Professor Munara Hamida Maruhum, the current Assistant Dean of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. She graduated Bachelor of Science in Teaching Arabic in MSU and finished her Masters of Arts in Islamic Studies in the same university. And because of her dedication and love for education, she continued her PhD in Educational Management in Mindanao State University until she finished it, making her one of the PhD holders in the center. She also passed the Civil Service and Philippine Board examinations for teachers, the now licensure examination for teachers or LET. And comes now another equally energetic and mother figure of the department, Professor Fatima Maunda Aragasi. Like Professor Maruhum, she is also a pioneering student of the Teaching Arabic Department of Mindanao State University. She is also a master's degree holder as she finished Masters of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law, in the same university. She is also a PBET license holder. It is interesting to say that Professor Aragasi forms one of the big pillars of the Teaching Arabic Department. The next faculty member to be introduced to you is Professor Sagula Zakiya Tago. She has a degree of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Arabic Studies, the now Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies of the Center. She has completed her academic requirements on the degree of Masters in Education, major in School Administration, and she also completed her academic requirements on the degree of Masters of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law at Mindanao State University. Likewise, she is a civil service carrier and PBET passer. And it honors me to say that she is among the competent professors of the center and is also favorite to many, like the other previously mentioned professors. Comes now the next professor of the department, Professor Alim Ansari Bato. He is a graduate from Kuwait University with the degree of Bachelor of Science in Sharia and has recently finished his master's degree in Muslim law at the Mindanao State University. The department is honored and proud to say that he is the only male faculty member of the department. The sixth faculty member of Teaching Arabic Department, our beloved Professor Sinayanan Zahra Makararik. Like previously mentioned faculty, she is also a graduate of the Department of Teaching Arabic, a master's holder of the degree Masters of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law. She is currently pursuing her PhD degree in Mindanao State University, and likewise, she is a PBET passer. Next is the young and enthusiastic faculty of the department, Ms. Nurzaman Makadindang. She is a graduate of Teaching Arabic Department of Mindanao State University and currently pursuing her master's degree in education, major in guidance and counseling of the same university. We are proud to say that she is a licensed professional teacher. Another young alima of our department who is now serving as lecturer is Alima Sagira Makarambon. She is also a graduate of Teaching Arabic Department and one of the few who has continued and finished her education at Princess Noura University of Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Arabic language. And finally, the last faculty to be introduced to you is yours truly and the one you are hearing, Miss Hidayah Makarambon Gote. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for taking your time in listening to me, and I'd like to end my part by sharing to you a famous quotation of one of the beloved leaders of Islam, Umar ibn al-Khattab. He said, تعلموا العربية فإنها تثبت العقل وتزيد في المروءة. Learn the Arabic language since it fortifies the mind and increases virtue. Again, it is my honor to have done the task of introducing to you the faculty members of our department. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In behalf of our department chairperson, Professor Jashim Abdul Rahman, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the dynamic, versatile, and globally competitive faculty members of Islamic Studies Department of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. To begin with, we have our beloved Dean of the Center. He is a mining engineer at the same time a Sharia lawyer. He passed the 1999 Sharia Bar exam as top 5 He obtained his Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law, and Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. He also obtained his Juris Doctor in the same university. He participated in many trainings and seminars abroad and within our country. He also authored various books regarding Sharia bar subjects. Dr. Abdul Qadir Maruhum Ayo. He is a former Undersecretary in Madaris Dipid Arm and former Hajj Attaché. He is a graduate of Islamic Jurisprudence at the University of Jordan. Likewise, he obtained his Master of Arts in Sharia, major in Islamic Economics at Yarmouk University in Jordan. He also obtained his Doctor of Philosophy in Islamic Jurisprudence and its foundation at International Islamic University, Malaysia. Dr. Alim Abdussalam Disumimba. He has a degree of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy in 1995 at Jamiatul Philippine Al-Islamiyah, Marawi City. He finished his Arabic language proficiency in 1998 and his bachelor's degree in Islamic Studies, major in Jurisprudence in 2004 at King Saud University, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And he has recently completed the degree Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. Professor Alim Muhammad Hadi Makarampat. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Education in Islamic Studies, major in Jurisprudence at King Saud University in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He also earned his certificate in teaching Arabic language for non-native speakers at International Arabic Language Institute in Saudi Arabia. Likewise, he obtained his diploma and his master's degree in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. He also completed his professional diploma at International Professors of Martial Arts Sciences and Educators, WOMA, USA in 2011. He also obtained his Doctor of Philosophy in Martial Arts Science Education at World Academy of Martial Arts Philosophy and Science in Malaysia. Dr. Alim Murad Umpa. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies in 1988 at Mindanao State University, Marawi City. He finished his license in Sharia, major in Sharia in United Arab Emirates in 1993. He also finished his diploma in Islamic Studies in 2003 and he has recently completed his Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. He is currently taking his Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies in the same university. Professor Ali Bashir Usman. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies, cum laude, and he obtained his Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law, and his Juris Doctor at the Mindanao State University. He is our former college secretary and research coordinator. He passed the 2008 Sharia Bar exam as TAP 2. He serves as lecturer in various trainings and authored various books regarding Islamic jurisprudence. He is currently the chairperson of Islamic Studies Department, Professor Jashim Abdul Rahman. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies cum laude and obtained his Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim Law at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. Likewise, he passed the special Sharia Bar exam and also he is a licensed professional teacher. He completed his academic requirements, leading to the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies. The department is honored and proud to say that he is also a Hafidul Quran. He is currently serving as Special Assistant at the Office of the President, Mindanao State University, Marawi City. Professor Muhammad Jihan Makarambon. She has a degree of Bachelor of Science in International Relations. Likewise, she also passed the 2014 Sharia Bar exam. She earned her certificate in governmental management and diploma in Muslim law at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. She also obtained the degree Master of Public Administration and Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies in the same university. She is currently the Research Coordinator and Intellectual Property Coordinator of the Center. Dr. Suhra Sharif. She is a graduate of Islamic Studies in 1979 at Mindanao State University, Marawi City. She obtained her Master of Arts in Teaching in the same university. She is also a master's holder of the degree Master of Arts in Islamic Studies at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, Quezon City. Professor Monauray Rayhana Makalipot. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies at Mindanao State University. She obtained her Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law in the same university. She is currently taking her Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies, major in Mindanao Culture and Society. Professor Umayya Amir Taratingan. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in International Relations and also passed the 1999 Special Sharia Bar exam as top 3. She obtained her Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law, and her Juris Doctor at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. She was a member of the 2008 Board of Examiners of the Special Sharia Bar examination given by the Supreme Court of the Philippines. She is currently taking her Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies. She is presently the chairperson of the graduate program of the center, Professor Widad Ramos Minudar. The youngest among the faculty force of the department. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies, cum laude. She also passed the Sharia Bar exam and also a licensed professional teacher. She also finished her Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law at the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. She completed her academic requirements, leading to the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies, major in Mindanao Culture and Society. Professor Aqisa Salima Panda. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies and a master's holder of the degree Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law. Likewise, she also passed the 2011 Sharia Bar exam and completed her academic requirements, leading to the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies, major in Muslim Culture and Society. Yours truly, Professor Hidayah Bangkula. Thank you for listening. Jazakumullahu khairan wa ahsanal jaza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Peace be with you all. And good day to each and everyone. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Maayong adlaw sa atong tanan. And mapya agawi sirak tanulangon. So thank you so much for this opportunity to introduce and to present the faculty members of the International Relations Department of the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies, Mindanao State University, Marawi City. Actually, we have 8 regular faculty members in our department, but 3 of those faculty members are on study leave, and we also have 2 regular lecturer and 1 shared faculty from the College of Law. So again, it is my honor and privilege to present all faculty members of the Department of International Relations. Let me start first with the vision, mission, goals, and objectives of the International Relations Department. And after this, it will be followed by the individual images that includes the subjects handling by every faculty within this semester, this year 2020-2021. Now, the first faculty is, of course, yours truly. I am Professor Mustafa E. Dimaro. I am the chairperson of the International Relations Department, and I also finished my Master in Public Administration, major in Organizational Management within this university. I also finished my Juris Doctor degree, and I am a practicing Sharia counselor. At the same time, I also completed all the academic requirements to my Doctor in Public Administration. Second faculty is Dr. Juliet T. Mendoza. She is one of our senior faculty of the department. She also finished her Doctor in Philosophy, major in Philippine Studies in Mindanao State University, Marawi City, and also her Master degree in UP Diliman, Quezon City. Next faculty is Ma'am Hamsia Alilaya. She also finished her Master of Arts in Islamic Studies in Mindanao State University, Marawi City. Also a graduate of Bachelor of Science in International Relations as cum laude. Next faculty is Professor Jalud Abdul. He also finished his Master in Political Science, major in International Relations in Indonesia. The next faculty is Dr. Anwar Radiamuda. He is the present director of the Sharia Center of the Mindanao State University, Marawi City. He also finished his Doctor in Philosophy in Islamic Studies in Indonesia, and at the same time, he is also a Sharia counselor. Next is Professor Rasmia Dato Saranao. She also finished her Master in Political Science in Indonesia, and also she is now currently taking her Doctor in Philosophy, major in Philippine Studies within this university, also on study leave. Next faculty is Ma'am Fatima Marohumzar. She is the former chairperson of the International Relations Department, and she is now on study leave, taking up her Master of Arts in Islamic Studies within the university. Faculty is Sir Faisal Alonto, who is now taking his Master in International Relations in Istanbul, Turkey. He is also a graduate of Bachelor of Science in International Relations as magna cum laude. Next is our regular lecturer, Professor Salipada Pacol. He is a retired faculty member of the department, and he also finished his master degree in UP Diliman, Quezon City. Next regular lecturer is Attorney Naila Abdul Jalil, and she is also a graduate of Bachelor of Science in International Relations as magna cum laude. And of course, last but not the least, our third faculty from the College of Law, Attorney Nur Habib Barudi, who is also the present Assistant Dean of the College of Law of Mindanao State University. And he is also a Sharia counselor. So that's it. Thank you so much, and keep safe always, and God bless to everyone. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahillazi tatimmus salihat wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad. Amma ba'd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Presenting the teaching force of the graduate program of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. To begin with, Dr. Abdul Qadir M. Ayok, the present Dean of the College of King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies, a Sharia lawyer who passed the 1999 bar exam as TAF 5, a graduate of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies in Mindanao State University, a graduate of Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies in the same university, and author of various books pertaining to the 4 bar subjects. Next, Dr. Ali B. Panda, the former Dean of the King Faisal Center, the former MSU Assistant Vice Chancellor for External Affairs, the former Assistant Dean of MSU Graduate School, and also former OIC Dean of MSU Graduate School, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in International Relations, a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies, and also a graduate of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies in UP Diliman, and a PhD holder in Philippine Studies, major in Bureaucracy and minor in External Relations from the University of the Philippines. Next, Dr. Monara M. Margom, the present Assistant Dean of the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. Dr. Margom is a graduate of Teaching Arabic, and she was a consistent full scholar during her entire years in the university. She had enjoyed scholarship grants during her graduate and postgraduate studies. He is a graduate of, she earned units in EB, Master of Arts in Islamic Studies in UP Diliman, and completed her masteral degree in Islamic Studies in MSU Marawi City, and also a holder of PhD in Educational Management in MSU Marawi City. She has traveled in some Southeast Asian countries, attending trainings and conferences, and as research presenter. A resource person also in some regions in the enhancement of the teaching of Alive. Dr. Marhom is married to Director Mahmoud Marhom and blessed with 7 children and 1 grandchild. Next is Dr. Jamil Kayamuddin, a Sharia lawyer who passed the bar exam last 2006, a graduate of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Science, Sociology, and Anthropology in Political Behavior in International Islamic University, Malaysia. He also earned units in the DPA program in the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and also a graduate of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies in University of the Philippines, Diliman, a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Sharia in Mindanao State University. And Dr. Kayamuddin is the present college secretary of the graduate school, and also Dr. James is a member of the 2016 Board of Examiners of the Philippine Special Sharia Bar Examination given by the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Next is Professor Shahid Manalondong. He is an assistant professor at King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. He earned his EB Islamic Studies and ME Islamic Studies at Mindanao State University, Marawi City, and also he completed the academic requirements in his PhD in Philippine Studies at the said university. Next is Professor Jawad Salik. He is an assistant professor at King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. He is a Sharia Bar Examination and Teacher and Licensure Examination for Teacher passer. He earned his EB Islamic Studies and MA Islamic Studies at Mindanao State University. He also completed the academic requirements in his PhD in Philippine Studies at Mindanao State University. Next is Professor Zahia B. Haji Saleh. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Education, major in English, a graduate of Master of Arts in English Language Teaching, and a graduate of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, and present student in Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies. She is a board passer who passed the licensure examination for teacher. Next is Professor Aina Khadija Salik. She is a Sharia lawyer and a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies, a graduate of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, and completed her academic requirements in Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies. And lastly, yours truly, Professor Widad U. Ramos Minudar. a graduate of Bachelor of Science in International Relations, and a graduate of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, and a graduate of Bachelor of Laws, Juris Doctor, and a present student of Doctor of Philosophy in Philippine Studies. I passed the 1999 bar exam as top 3 and also a member of the 2018 Board of Examiners by the Supreme Court of Philippine Sharia Bar Examination given by the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Thank you and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am tasked to introduce to you the hard-working KFCIAAS administrative staff. Let me begin with Ramona Asha D. Abdul, College Librarian 2 of the Center. We also have Suada P. Abdul Manan, who holds the same position, which is College Librarian 2. Another is one of the pioneering staff members of the Center, Nawal Alawi, who holds the position of Administrative Aide 3. Another College Librarian 2 is Fatima Aliyah B. Ali. Si Bara is also an Administrative Aide 3 of the Center. Introducing to you another College Librarian 2, Miss Juhaina B. Batuali. Diamond P. Konding is a University Research Assistant 1. Diamira B. Daod is also an Administrative Aide 3 of the Center. Another University Research Assistant 1 is Munera G. Dimakuta. Abdul Jami D. Disambaran is also an Administrative Aide 3. Akmila P. Haji Ali has the position of Administrative Aide 4. Nuruddin P. Ibrahim is the Administrative Aide 1 of the Center. Another Administrative Aide 1 is Alan S. Padugdog. Nur Aliyah R. Pagandaman is having the position of Administrative Aide 3. Presenting to you our Administrative Officer 2, Ms. Corazon L. Ratunel. Our very own University Research Assistant 2, Mrs. Unutan S. Sangwan. Tundugon M. Sarip is an Administrative Aide 3 of the Center. Salahuddin B. Amir is an Administrative Aide 4 of the Center. Administrative Aide 1 of the Center is Mr. Ansari M. Diatur. Jalila L. Maba is an Administrative Aide 3 of the Center. Tahara A. Makarambon has the position of University Research Assistant 1. Ahmad Siddiq B. Makarao has the position of Administrative Assistant 2. Presenting to you is Amrosi A. Makatuman, who has the position of Administrative Aide 1. Administrative Aide 2 of the Center is Mr. Nur Amin Muslimin. Our Administrative Aide 1, Mr. Jamil L. Rugo. Siti Rohanifa P. Sarangani has the position of Administrative Officer 3. Another new recruit of the Center who has the position of Administrative Officer 1, Mr. Abdul Hadi A. Saumay. Another hard-working staff of the Center, Miss Princess Rani Q. Sharma. She has the position of Administrative Aide 3. You have seen the committed staff of the Center, and now let me introduce to you the admirable teachers, one of the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. beginning with Alim Basaruddin M. Amin. He finished his Bachelor of Sharia major in Fiqh and its origin at Mota University, Al-Qarar, Jordan. Another Alim who finished his Bachelor in Dawah from Al-Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt is Alim Muhammad Atiyah M. Amanuddin. Another teacher one of the center is Miss Nur Hafiza Bint Muslimin, a Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies major in Sharia graduate. International Studies graduate at Liceo de Cagayan University is Norhani P. Dimakuta, also a teacher one of the center. Another teacher one of the center is Alim Abdul Majid Jamla. He obtained his Bachelor of Arts in Jurisprudence at World Islamic College Tripoli, Libya. Also a teacher one of the center is Mr. Mahid N. Haji Junaid. He finished his Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies major in Sharia at King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies, a MAIS student, and a CWTS instructor. Alim Pangarungan I. Hassan obtained his bachelor's degree in Sharia at Al-Imam Muhammad Ibn Saud Islamic University of Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Third teacher one is Mr. Abdul Bari Juhari. He finished his ABIS at MSU King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies. Alim Abdul Hadi P. Makarangkat obtained his Arabic language in Islamic Studies at Kulliyatul Da'wah Islamiyah, Libya. Alim Naim Makatuman finished his higher Arabic in Islamic Studies at Jamia Mahmudiyah, South Africa. Another teacher one of the center who is a Sharia counselor is Alim Ehsan P. Manaul. He finished his Bachelor in Sharia at Al-Imam Muhammad Ibn Saud Islamic University of Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Naira D. Mawundaya obtained her Bachelor of Science in Commerce at Pakasam College and degree of Dawah Islamiyah at Mahad Mindanao. Tasneem M. Maruhom is a graduate of AB Islamic Studies, major in Sharia, and a student of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, major in Muslim law. Another alim is Muhammad Dawood C. Pangandaman. He obtained his Sharia Islamic law at Islamic University of Medina Al-Munawwara, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Lima Binulawan D. Radyaganding obtained her Islamic education at Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Ola A. Rasuman is an alim from Madrasa Ta'alimuddin, South Africa. Alim Mahdi Said is a Sharia counselor. He obtained his Bachelor of Science in Islamic Studies at King Saud University, Riyadh, and currently he is enrolled in MA Islamic Studies at UP Diliman. Another teacher one of the center is Alim Saminuddin Sangkupan. He obtained his Al-Ulumul Sharia wa Dawah at Al-Imam Muhammad Ibn Saud Islamic University of Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Alim Abdul Rasad A. Sarangani obtained his Bachelor of Education in Islamic Studies at King Saud University, Saudi Arabia. Also a teacher one of the center is Nurania I. Sarangani from Kulliyatul Tarbiyah Al-Islamiyah. Sulayma M. Sarangani is also a Teacher 1 who has the degree of BS International Relations. Rasna M. Sarangani obtained the degree of Bachelor of Elementary Education at Marawi Islamic College. She is now detailed at Integrated Laboratory School as Arabic teacher. Muslimin B. Sarib finished his Islamic Call and Theology at Mahad Marawi Al-Islami. Another Teacher 1 of the center is Kalsuma A. Sharif. She is a licensed professional teacher with a degree of Bachelor of Elementary Education at Jamiatul Philippine Al-Islami. Saleh M. Sharif is currently a Special Assistant to the Office of the President. Alim Muhammad Sulaiman Tataan obtained his Bachelor of Islamic Education at King Saud University, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Another Teacher 1 of the center is Mr. Alinor M. Tumali. He is currently working on his thesis in Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, Muslim Law, with a degree of Bachelor of Science in International Relations. Last to present is Alim Alinor G. Umpara. He obtained his Bachelor of Theology, major in Hadith, at Al-Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt.
And now that you are familiar with the faculty members and personnel of the center, we move on to end the program with closing remarks to be given to us by the ever-loving and active Professor Dr. Munara Maruhum, the Assistant Dean of the King Faisal Center for Islamic, Arabic, and Asian Studies.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And lastly, since the appointment of Dr. Abdul Qadir Ayub as the Dean of the Center, whenever there is a program of the Center, I usually program. And before we formally close the orientation, allow me to reiterate to our students that amid these pandemic online classes, please try to review and listen carefully to the recorded lectures we sent to our Google account because of the reality that our net here is so weak, especially this time that thousands or hundreds of thousands are using the net. Then usually we cannot do it through Zoom class. So what, in my case, as a teacher of the center, I used to record my lecture so that my students could repeat it over and over in listening the lecture. So hopefully we are praying to Almighty Allah that this coming January we'll be having a face-to-face class on a limited basis. And if it will happen, please try to observe the basic health protocol set by the Department of Health. Okay. So thank you in behalf of the center. Thank you for lending us your time to listen the college orientation, because this orientation usually we welcome all our students, even the faculty and staff, especially those new recruits to the center, which is the heart and soul of the university. So thank you very much for listening to the orientation so that you are well guided. For example, who are the persons in charge in our two libraries, the Pahang, our two libraries are both located at the Pahang Hall, the Arabic and Bahasa Library, and our regular library. And those ladies operating the same library are mostly professional librarians. So thank you for coming, and please help us pray to Allah that this pandemic will begin as early as possible so that we can attend properly to your needs as our students, because you are the main purpose of the creation of the center, to educate, to nurture, and to teach good moral values to our students, not only secular education but Islamic values that is believed to be a universal value, and that is a practical value that is good to all people of different creeds and religion, because we have non-Muslim students here, specifically in the Department of International Relations, and that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And that is the end of our orientation. Once again, I thank you all for joining us in this program. This is again Professor Muhammad Jihan Makarambon, and join me by reading the closing prayer taught to us by our beloved Prophet Muhammad. Subhanallahumma wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.